process. I think it's so important for everyone to take that time to listen, to truly, start loving who they are, start loving their life, and to prepare for this pivotal moment in your life. And
Hello guys, what's up? So today on the channel we got such an amazing guest. She's been with us before. She is a raw vegan mother and now she has 3 kids. So she's here after her third birth and she's got such an amazing story and such an amazing experience. And as did I already mention, she's over 40 and she looks so amazing and she's radiant and vibrant. And I can't wait for you to watch the interview. And if you want any consultation on how you can achieve that too, from someone who has experienced it before, I'm going to put her details in the description box down below so you can approach her, you can reach her for any consultation or anything you would like to work on when it comes to your pregnancy, when it comes to your fertility. She is the person for you, so check her out and let's get to the interview.
there we
Oh,
go.
amazing. Hello. So
Hello.
we're here today with Sarah Marie Rose Bissarello.
You got it.
Yeah, she's talking to us from Hawaii. And she currently had her it's her third baby, but her second baby on a raw vegan pregnancy.
Hmm.
And previous time we talked, she was still pregnant, and now she's after birth. How long are you postpartum?
4 months.
4 months. Oh well, we haven't spoken like it's been
Six
it's been a
months.
while.
Yeah, yeah. Since
Yeah,
last April or March. Yeah.
yeah. So if you don't mind, you can tell us like how's it been so far and
Mm.
how just how's it been.
How's life? How is the birth? How's my second fruit-based pregnancy?
Yeah, you want okay, you know what? You can tell us for whoever hasn't really watched the first interview. So maybe you can talk about the comparison between the first baby, second baby, third baby, um, and like how what caused like a difference or how you feel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, sure. Okay, so I am a mom of three. I had my first baby when I was 31 and I was vegan, actually more vegetarian, and then I had some meat products later on in the pregnancy, around like 30 weeks and on. In that pregnancy, I had all the normal symptoms of pregnancy. I had nausea, I had swollen legs, I had fatigue. I was just going through it. I had gas, I had bloating, I had all of it, right? And then when I had my actual birth, I gained 68 pounds in that pregnancy, by the way. So I gained 68 pounds. And then once I had my daughter, it was a 38-hour labor. So I had 38 hours of labor. I had pain. I had to push. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful natural birth, but it definitely took a very long time. And my healing of postpartum took a lot longer. It was a good like 6 months where I actually could see the difference in my body coming back to who I was. And even mentally and emotionally, I didn't have as much energy. I was just kind of slow and I was not sad, but like I could definitely feel the lows of the hormones that happens in females after you have a child, right? And so after that pregnancy, like I knew that there could be something different. I was like, I swear there can be a different type of birth. I've heard about like ecstatic births. I've heard about orgasmic births. I've heard about no pain births. I've heard about all these things. And I'm like, but I want to have this. Like, I know there can be a different birth for me, right? And it's not saying that my first birth wasn't good because it was perfect for where I was at in my life and what I needed to understand to actually understand what birth was and to go through that process and to see how it could be different if I prepared for it, right? So I took, once my daughter was like maybe 1.5, 2, I then took 2 years to actually prepare my body for my second baby, my son. And I just literally I went raw when my daughter was 1 years old. And I'm like, I want to feel better. I want to feel super healthy. And at that time, I was dealing with candida. I was dealing with like backed up liver, backed up kidneys. I had parasites. I had all of it, right? I felt like I had acne. The one thing that I really noticed though was the candida. Like I was really fatigued and my pancreas was a little out of whack. I wasn't, absorbing sugars that well. And I was like, what is happening with my body? So that's why I really decided to go raw because I wanted to have more energy. I wanted to have more life for not just myself, but for my child. I was like, I need to be more present. I need to be more aware and be more energetic. So I went raw and then I started cleansing my body and working through the emotional state along with the physical body to have a different experience. And within those 2 years, I went raw. And then when I went raw, it was more of like high fat raw. And then I went to a fruit-based raw vegan. So I ate primarily fruit and then some greens and some, with veggies and, nuts and seeds and sprouts and the whole nine, right? So I did that for almost like 2 years. And then I conceived my son. And then when that pregnancy, it was completely different. I had no symptoms. I was working out every day. I felt good. I felt alive. I was like, this is what pregnancy is supposed to feel like, I think, like I'm not down. I'm not like gaining all this weight. I'm not getting inflamed. I'm not having these like crazy emotional ups and downs. And I just felt really, really good. And then I didn't know what was going to happen with that birth because with my first birth, it was 38 hours. And I'm like, well, if I can do like a 10-hour birth, great, or 10-hour labor. I don't know. I had no expectations. I said, okay, I'm going to do this. And it ended up happening where I had a 15-minute birth where my water broke. That day, I was literally packing boxes of fruit at the farmer's market. I was normal. I was feeling good. I mean, I was a little like in like the clouds of like happiness. I could tell because I was getting towards the end of my pregnancy and I knew he was coming and it was actually on the 40-week to the day mark. And I was like,
Wow.
yeah, my first daughter was 41 and 2, 41 weeks, point two. And so he was at 40 weeks. I was like, there's no way he's gonna come on his like due date of conception. And sure enough, he did. He came that day and it was 15 minutes. My water broke. And then next thing you know, I had 4 contractions and he was out. And it was like I didn't even have time to think. I just like stood up and like squatted over my kitchen sink. My husband was there with a light and he just flew out of me. And it's kind of like a joke because I was like, I didn't have time. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have time and go into this like really magical place, maybe go in the shower. And I was like, no, it was like very earthy and grounded. And he came out of me. There was no pain, there was no pushing. And I couldn't believe it. It was just like this overwhelming surges of energy that were coming in. And it was just great. It was really blissful. I had no hemorrhaging or bleeding. Nothing like that happened. And the midwife didn't even make it. She didn't make it to the birth. So and it ended up just being my daughter and my husband and me. And yeah, and after that postpartum, like immediately I was hiking within 4 to 5 days. I felt good. There wasn't like this like huge, tremendous quote unquote healing process where I needed to like lay in bed and they'd keep on saying, you need to lay in bed. I'm like, well, I'm not really tired, so I don't want to lay in bed. I'm an energetic person and I feel good, and I definitely was eating like the first thing I ate after I had my son was bananas. Like giving myself that potassium, giving myself that energy. It's like if you run a race, like you eat bananas, right? You work out, you eat bananas. It was kind of
Yeah.
this intuitively, I gotta eat bananas, right? So I was eating bananas and I think mulberries and dates or something like that. And yeah, and so after that, I was just like, okay, this is possible. And the fact that I didn't feel any pain, it was really cool because I'm like, wow, like my body just completely opened up. It just opened up. I didn't even do anything. He came out. And, many people shared with me it was because of you know, I didn't have a lot of acidity in my body. So my tissues were more malleable. They're coming in and out. My cervix was able to come in and out much easier. And it did definitely ring true. And Dr. Morse talked about it too. He said he's seen many women who've been on a raw vegan who prepared before, and he would see very fast births, very easy, no, what's it called, tearing or anything like that happening. So yeah, I was just super, happy that I was able to have that experience. I didn't know it was going to be this like really fast one. And yeah, and then I always knew I wanted to have another kid. And so I actually waited, oh my gosh, my son and my third are 5 years apart. So I waited like 5 years in that intermittent time, and I stayed on this lifestyle. So there was no like shifts backwards or anything like that. But I did prepare a little bit different, like not differently, but prepared some things a little more. Like I did a 100-day orange fast. Like within those 5 years at one point, I wanted to really like cleanse my body and feel good. And when I did that, it really made a huge, huge difference in my body and my absorption of actual nutrients. I found myself once I did that 100-day orange fast and I was eating the oranges, I wasn't drinking orange juice. Once I did that, I found that all the stuff that was still in my intestinal wall or in my gut that wasn't allowing me to absorb nutrients, it was gone. And I was able to absorb so much easier. And I didn't have to eat as much. It was really, really amazing. And after I did that, like I could tell my body was like, okay, it's time to have another baby. And so I think it was maybe like a year later, I conceived my son Cristiano. And again, it was very similar. It was, an easy pregnancy, an easy pregnancy at 39 and 40 years old.
Yes.
I was 40. No, I was 40. I was 40 and it was easy. It was like most people are like, you're old, like you're gonna have to take medications, you're gonna have to do something to get pregnant. And I didn't have to do anything. I was just eating right and emotionally being stable and listening to him, listening to his soul where he wanted to be. And yeah, I was able to conceive and have this really great pregnancy. And the only difference between this one and the other one is I think I maybe gained like maybe an extra 5 pounds and
For the whole entire pregnancy?
extra 5 pounds more than my second pregnancy. No, I gained about
Oh,
28 or 32 pounds, I think, or 28 pounds, around 28 pounds. And with my son, I gained about 25, maybe. My second son, so my first son was 25 pounds. My second son was 28 pounds. So my third pregnancy, I gained about 28 pounds. And gosh, the birth too was it was easy, like I had so much energy in this pregnancy too. I mean, I was throwing events, I was always walking, I was always energized, I was dancing. It was just like there was nothing really like stopping me. I didn't feel like I was a patient. Actually, at one point, I was like, okay, I maybe need to slow down a little bit and just just relax, just like enjoy your pregnancy, not try to do everything in the world. So that was good. I could just sit back and enjoy and just be a little bit. And when I had him, it was the night of Father's Day, actually, which was really special because he was born like about 39 weeks. He wasn't fully 40 weeks. And I had a feeling like I knew from the beginning that he was going to be earlier. I was like, he's going to be like a week earlier. I could just feel it. And sure enough, he came on Father's Day night. Like I had my first sign of contractions at 11:30 at night. And all of a sudden, like I'm like, okay, I think this is happening, you know? And then within 45 minutes, my water breaks. And again, he's out in four, and like right after that he's out. So this one gave me a little bit more time to like open up and like go through the process, but it was almost identical. I stood up, it was just me, my husband, and my two children, and I was above the kitchen sink, like not above, but like putting my forearms on the kitchen sink, and I was squatting. and he just came out, and both my kids had lights and they're trying to record and trying to help daddy because they're like, Mom, it was really funny. They're like, Mom, your butt looks like it's gonna bust out. What's happening? I'm having a baby, you know? And yeah, it was really, really sweet. And yeah, I had him very quickly. Everything was good. And immediately my son, my 5-year-old son, and my husband started making me juice, giving me bananas, and just doing all the things. And we were all in bed by like maybe 3 o'clock. We're all sleeping. The new baby, all of us in bed sleeping, and he doesn't wake up till like 9 a.m. I'm like, what? You know? And it was, yeah, and this is kind of his personality too. Like my third son, my third child, my second son is extremely mellow. Like the most chill baby. He doesn't cry. He just like sits in lotus position. He likes to sit in his chair. He likes to just be. He's not needy. And I thought that was really cool because I could just tell like his system, his actual nervous system is not shaken up. He's not like anxious. He's not worried. He's like, I'm here. This is good. Life's good. I got my milk. I got my mom, and I know there's a lot of babies that are like that, but I could just tell like through my own development as a woman and through pregnancy and through my lifestyle and through the emotional how I am emotionally too. I could see how that represented in my child that I had. I could see him mirroring that kind of like where the state that I'm in here. He's like, "Oh, she's chill. I'm going to be chill. She's not all rowdy. I don't need to be rowdied up," because they often mimic our own behaviors. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, it's been great, and postpartum was wonderful. I live in this on an island here, and the community was so special. They had like instead of like a, what's it called, a meal train, they did what was called a fruit and veggie train for me. And so every day people would go to the market and they'd come and drop off fruits and vegetables. And that was like my meal train, my postpartum train. And I felt so nourished. Like every day someone would come and bring bananas and greens and salads and smoothies. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. And yeah, it's been great. It's been so just easy. And yeah, I think more of the challenges can be actually just with the other children and like, working their energies with everyone, just having a house of five instead of a house of four, and just those adjustments that naturally happen within a family dynamic. So yeah, the last two were fantastic, the raw vegan ones, and my first one was just a little more challenging, a lot longer. And yeah, I just feel good. And I'm 41 now, and I could have another baby and I'd feel great.
Yeah, so you do you're basically living like every woman's dream, because you're so scared of like I know that when I was a child, I was like super scared because I've seen like my mom suffering when she had birth, or
Right.
like I hear like how painful it is, and I see all these women, they're getting like depression after labor, and
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you, like, what would you recommend for women that are afraid or don't want to have this like really, you know, I would say like really exhausting experience?
Right. Well, I would say, it doesn't have to be this horrible, exhausting experience, and everything that everyone talks about, that doesn't have to be the case for you. And if you can feel that in your body and you feel like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Look at that sunrise. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
That is so epic. I'm sorry. I just got blown away by your sunrise. Amazing. I'm like, I want to change. Where's our sunset? We should see the sunset and the sunrise at the same time. That'd be so cool.
Yeah. It would be.
Yes, is I would say, is prepare, prepare yourself emotionally, prepare yourself physically, and take your time to do that. Like, take the time to go into those spaces within yourself that you feel scared about, that you're feeling those fears, you're feeling those worries, you're feeling, the pain, the trauma that you've had maybe when you were born, or like what you've seen like from your own parents, like what they've gone through, is to like go into that and to transform that into a space of love and transform that into empowerment for you, and to get yourself really healthy in your physical body, like people say, how, you can't have babies like raw vegan, you can't do this. And I'm like, you can eat, fruits and vegetables and have healthy pregnancies and have healthy bodies. And when you do the actual detoxification, then into regeneration, it is really good. And you can see the difference within your body, and you can see the difference within your babies. You're giving it not just for yourself, but for your children, because then your children don't have to detox the weaknesses that you have out of them, because you've already done that detox process, so you've already gone through your kidneys and gone through your worries and fears, you've gone through your gut, you've cleaned out your gut, you've cleaned out these parasites, so you're not passing them on to your children. So when you're stronger, they become stronger, and you can see it within themselves, like me wanting to absorb more. I can see that my son is not like, he needs to like eat so much and he's starving, it's like he's absorbing food, he's absorbing the milk, and he's like gaining weight just because his system is clean. It's not full of acidity, he's packing nice, healthy weight from fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and avocados and yummy things, So yeah, just take the time, prepare, and to like bring that love in your heart, you know, bring the love into your food, and just yeah, I just say prepare and go for it, and connect with that baby, connect with that soul. That is one of some of the things that I do with when I help people, is we actually connect in with your soul children and who's coming forward and what they want to share with you and how they can help you prepare for them to come in. And I think that is one of the most important things, because we often think it's just about us, and it's like, well, what does your child want? What does your child need? Like I noticed in my third pregnancy with Cristiano, like he wanted me to have so many antioxidants versus like Francis wanted like bananas and papayas and watermelon and grapes, and like I was like so drawn to acai for Cristiano. Like he wanted berries and different things, and like some a little bit of raw cacao, and more gourmet fat, more gourmet raws, which was interesting because I wouldn't like make a lot with Francis. I was more just fruit, And he was like, no, like make raw pizzas, make these different like yummy stuff. And I realized, I'm like, okay, every child wants different things based off of who they are. And so the more we can listen our children before, during utero, the easier it is going to be for you. So that's definitely what I would say, is prepare and listen and open your heart, and pregnancy will be much easier for you, as well as birth. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I also have like another question out of curiosity. Do you feel like um I was wondering because there are a lot of arguments on the raw vegan like lifestyle and how you should do it in
Mm,
terms of like, there's the 80-10-10 and there's like not 80-10-10. Like I personally don't really follow 80-10-10. I do
right.
mostly, I do mostly eat like juicy, but I also do eat fats and like
Mhm.
normally would be over like 10-15% would be more, like
Right.
durian, avocados. So I was wondering, how do you feel about this when it comes to, like maybe fertility or like hormonal balance, or do you feel like it is necessary to have those as part of your diet when you are in the stage of, you know,
Right. Well, I think it depends. That's a really good question. I think it depends on the person and where they're at, like on their actual raw journey. Like are they already following more of like a high fat raw lifestyle? Are they following more of a high fruit, low fat? It just really depends on the person and where they're living. You know what I mean? Like what fruits are available to them. I think for women in fertility, like I had no issue getting pregnant. I had no issue with my periods being on a primarily fruit-based diet. So eating lots of fruits, but also having fats, also having nuts and seeds and sprouts and those kinds of things. Like I'm not just like a strict 80-10-10 Graham where you're eating, just fruit and like, salad greens and no juices. Like I think juicing is fantastic. I like to juice. I like salads. I like all my fruits. I like having my acai bowls. I like having a variety of things. And I think when you've gone through the process of cleansing the body and then regenerating the body, then you can really listen to like what is it that your body really needs versus what is the boogers inside. So like if you've done, we all know, everyone knows, like guys, this isn't a secret. Everyone has parasites, okay? If you don't know, you know now. Okay. So once you've gone through the process of cleansing the energies in our body, the extra, poop and mucoid plaque, all the above. Sorry, there's a lot of bugs out right now. You can start really listening and being more in tune with your body and what your body really needs. And I would
Mm.
say more like, you know, um, how you're combining your food, right? How you're mixing even your raw foods together. Because you could be a raw foodist and have like really horrible food combining that can
Yeah,
cause like issues in your gut. It can cause issue with your blood sugar levels, right? So I think for, if you want to get pregnant, you are already pregnant, like especially if you already are pregnant and you are raw, like I always tell people to just stay with where you're at and don't try to go on any kind of like detoxification, meaning like don't try to go on any pulling journeys. You know what I mean? What I mean by that is like I'm gonna go on a mono fast, right? Like I just want to have a juice fast and you're pregnant. I would never suggest that. Like you're not there to detox while you're pregnant. You are there
yeah,
to build, you're there to gather, you're built to give strength. So get your body strong with the fruits, with the vegetables, with your fats that you prefer, with your sprouts, like get strong with it, and don't
yeah,
think about how am I going to detox. That's the biggest thing, as I tell people, is like, and especially people will come to me all the time and be like, well, I want to go raw in my pregnancy. I'm like, well, were you raw before? And they're like, no. I'm like, you cannot go into pregnancy being detoxing. You need to go and think of it a different mindset of like, how can I gather? How can I get strength? How can I, stay where I'm at and not detox or pull too hard from my body, whether it's your kidneys or trying to pull out mucoid plaque or do parasite cleanses. You don't want to do those things that could cause the baby to leave the body,
mm,
and then
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about that. So yeah, you just eat your fruits and vegetables happily while you're pregnant, or when you're going to conceive, like eat them happily. Once you've gone through the process of the purifying, then regenerate and eat happily, and really focus. Like people always focus on the food, but it's a lot here. And it's a lot
yeah,
here. Like focus on your heart, focus on you know your emotional state and getting good there, getting feeling good within your body and how you are with people around you, with your own emotions and how you're treating others. Like when you're good there, then the food itself is going to settle in much better within your body because your
yeah,
baby wants to
mm,
be in a space that feels comfortable, that feels like calm and happy. When you're calm inside, because you could be a raw vegan and you could not be calm inside and have tons of anxiety. So when
yeah,
you're exactly. It's like it's almost like counterintuitive. So when you're calm inside emotionally and physically, it's just the baby's in there, they're happier, you're happier because they're feeling every single thing that you're feeling, right? So the thoughts that you're having, the feelings that you're having, they're going to be feeling that too. So if we're conscious and aware of that, of not just what we're eating, but we're conscious aware of our thoughts, what we're digesting from other people in the outside of the world, what we're watching, what we're listening to, that too affects everything in pregnancy. So it's not just about the food, it's about everything else as well. So it's really
yeah,
about being conscious and being aware. I have a baby and how what kind of imprints am I putting on in this baby within this pregnancy, or when I'm trying to conceive? Because I'll have a lot of people that'll come to me and be like, I want to have a baby and I can't. And I'm like, well, What's going on emotionally? Are you living in the right place? Are you doing things that you don't want to do? Are you and your husband not in a good place? Do you need to work through your own birth? Do you need to work on your mother issues? Do you need to work on your own dad issues? Like those things need to be resolved to create like that solid foundation for the child. It's so beautiful. Yes. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like it does. Wow. Okay. So, like you said, like not to focus on detox while you're pregnant, but I like kind of already feels like when the body is doing it itself without you trying because it wants to prepare for a really clean space, pure space, like for the
Right.
baby. Yeah. 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 So, you're also working as a I would say that it's a coach, right? Like you're
I don't know. You can, I don't know. I guess I don't really have a label. I just, for me, I really just want to help people prepare for
mm,
this time in their life. I have a client right now who's actually pregnant. So I'm helping them through pregnancy and really helping on the emotional aspect. So I'll help people prepare for pregnancy, help the parents prepare for these children. It's kind of like a coach or, just, how do you want to call it? Somebody that just supports you and is there for you. I'm like a mama. I'm a mama. I'm like a mama to people, and we have certain practices that we've been teaching people for many, many years that really creates a really solid foundation for exactly this to prepare for your beloved. Even if you don't have, a husband or wife, we help people prepare for that. Like, how can we help you prepare for your beloved and for your children? So we do the same. We start from there, but it all starts here. It all starts with yourself. So we got to get to our hearts and we got to work on ourselves. We got to work on our own things that are going on here so we can attract the right, beautiful husband or wife into our lives and have a solid, good foundation, a solid, good relationship where you're not like going through crazy stuff. And then
yeah, for
and
sure.
then when you have that relationship and then having the baby come in, it's much easier for the not just the parents, but for the child too. So
Mm,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, it is. Um, yeah, I can like really I see all the generational stuff that like, I don't have a baby, but I think that it's a good thing because I'm like working on my stuff right now, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy. But I'm doing this, and I also wanted to let people know that if they are really thinking of maybe like do have a child, make sure that they're doing it, for the right reasons and that they're feeling good within themselves because it does go to the child, and then he needs to work through this, whatever we didn't, whatever you didn't do. So the child needs to like,
Right.
oh
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. And it's not just the mamas, guys. It's also the papas too. And the papas cleansing and getting preparing for their children too, I think is just as important besides the women, because they're getting half the DNA. So it's good if the husband will do it with you, which is why I love like my husband tag teams me with this. He works mostly on the physiological side, and then I
Mm.
do most of the emotional work. He's kind of I don't want to say the nerd in it, but he knows all the lingo, he knows all those things. He's like, well, if we do this and this and this. Um, so it's great to be able to have the man and wife do it together and
That's true.
the husband and wife do it together and do it as a team, and prepare. And even like you said, even if you're single, it's like preparing now for your child. Like I prepared for my first child before I even met my husband.
Mm,
Like she was coming to me before he was coming to me.
mm,
She led me to him, and I always tell people, like pray to your unborn children and say, listen, I'm here. I want to be a mom. I like take me to your papa. Like I want to bring you in. I hear you. I see you. I want to be a mother. Help me. And they will help you. Like these beings that are coming in right now are incredible. incredible. And they're here and they're just waiting for you, to listen to them, to hear them, and to prepare for them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, the conversation is going to go off in like a minute,
Oh, so yeah, it says 3 minutes and 6 seconds.
3 minutes and 6 seconds
Yep. Time
for
left.
you.
For me.
Yeah,
For you, are you
yeah,
a minute?
I have like 1 minute.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I will call you again in like 10 minutes.
Okay. Or we can wrap it up because I don't know how much time I'll have with my babe being out, but
Okay, so
yeah.
um
What other question do you have here? Or what do you want to say?
no, I don't really have much time. All right, so I would just want to say thank you for Sarah for joining us.
Mm.
And is there anything you would like to say to our audience before we have to finish?
Sure. I just want to say thank you and thank you so much for having me on here. It's always so wonderful to see your beautiful face and thank you for spreading the word and thank you for spreading the word to just the women and men out there and just supporting this process. I think it's so important for everyone to take that time to listen, to truly, start loving who they are, start loving their life, and to prepare for this pivotal moment in your life. And you're not alone, guys. You're not alone out there. There's people that are here to support you. And, a lot of the times women feel like it's a hard process or they can't do it. And there's so many people out there wanting to help you. And all of us women are going through it. And as a woman intuitively exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Exactly what to do. So trust yourself, trust your body, and trust this process. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we got another minute, I think.
We do.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes, yes. And please feel free to reach out to me if anybody has any questions or if you're wanting support in that process and or even to connect with your baby. I'm here and I'm going to be writing some books. I'm in the process of writing little books for people that can support in each one of these times of your life. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so please keep us like keep me updated so I can also like spread it to other people.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
really great. Wow.
Yeah.
Good, good.
I got to do it. I got to take the time and put it in. So, yeah. It was so lovely to see you. And